Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds, and in this video, I wanted to give 8 things that you should really consider doing if you are completely flat broke. I know what it's like to be broke. Now, fortunately, my business is built up. I've got a successful property portfolio, but honestly, there've been times in my life when I've been so, I won't say poor, because I think the definition of poor is when you don't have money, you're never gonna have money, you're just a poor person. Broke is when you just haven't got any cash right now. You are skint. And I've been there, man, believe me, I've been there. I remember one time when I was so broke that I was driving and I had no petrol. And I went to try and get petrol and I didn't have enough money to get petrol. So I thought, well, if I just put £5 in, that way I'll be able to just drive home and then figure a way to get some more money. I didn't even have £5. My card wouldn't accept it. I was so badly overdrawn. I had to phone my little sister and ask her to transfer just a few pounds to me, just so I could then get some petrol to get back home. So I really do understand the pain of what it's like being poor, broke, skint, whatever you want to call it. I teach people how to get rich. I teach people how to become financially free, but I get a lot of people sometimes that come to me that literally are skint, no money at all. And this video is for people that are in that situation. I'm not gonna say people like that, because that's not who you are. That's not your destiny. That's not your identity. That's your current situation. Number 1 is never, ever, ever go into debt to pay for bills. That's like the worst thing ever. It's a downward spiral, because if you borrow money to pay money that you owe, then what's gonna happen is you're gonna have to pay that back. Plus, next month, you've got the same bills again. So it's a downward spiral. It is just the worst thing you can do. And it's gonna mean that you're gonna be in the same situation you're in right now, but just for much worse, for much longer. Now, this might confuse some people because I do talk about debt as a good thing. Here's the thing. Debt is a good thing if you're borrowing money to invest it, and the profits that you're making off of the investments is gonna be able to pay back the debt and more. Then it's like really good. But right now, you're probably not in that place. You're probably thinking about getting money to pay off bills. Don't do it ever, ever, ever. Number 2 is never bury your head in the sand. It's so tempting when you've got no money and the situation's really bad. Just avoid even looking into the situation because you think it might be even worse than I think. And what people do, and I've done this, is you just bury your head in the sand and think, it's really bad. If I just bury my head in the sand, maybe it will just get better and things will just get better in time. That's a really bad thing to do because you cannot get to where you need to be without first acknowledging where you are. So, as depressing as it is, you need to just figure out how much money do you owe, what are your expenses, what are your incomings, and work out exactly where you are and advise yourself as if advising a best friend. You see, here's the thing. You've probably had situations where your friends have been in bad situations and you're able to come in as a third party, look into the situation, help them out. Look, just advise yourself as if you are your best friend, because you know what? You kind of are. Number 3 is never let friends or family come to you and ask you to pay their bills for them when they are financially stuck. As hard as it is to see your loved ones struggling, you cannot let them depend on you until you can become financially stable yourself. Now, you may feel that you're helping them out, and people say to me all the time, look, I give money, but I'm helping them out. And I'll say, well, how's it going? Because at the moment, you're not really helping anyone. They're always skint, you're always skint, it's not working. You might mean well, but I tell you something, those people that come to you and ask you for money, they are only asking you because you are the easiest option. If you say no because you need to get yourself sorted, they will find a way. You're not helping them anyway. What you're doing is you're actually training them to become dependent, which is never a good thing for you, for them, or for anybody. So please, 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 if you're skint, if you're broke, if you're absolutely stuck financially, don't give money away just because people ask you and you feel bad. Number 4 is find ways to reduce your monthly expenses. Now, you might think this is impossible, but here's the thing. I want you to log on to your bank statement, go online and look at all the standing orders, all the direct debits that are leaving your account every single month, and just go through them with a fine-tooth comb and work out which ones you can live without, which ones you can cancel. Maybe there's some of that you don't even know what they are. You could be paying for a gym membership and you don't even know because you've been burying your head in the sand for too long. So cancel all the expenses that you don't need, shrink them as low as possible, even if this is a case of just stepping 1 step back in the future to take 2 steps forward. And some of your expenses might be paying interest payments for debts. If you're paying really high interest rates on loans and debts and credit cards, ring up the company, speak to them, and see if you can reduce the interest rates and see what you can negotiate. Really important to save money as well as make money. Number 5 is focus on the solution, not the problem. You see, the problem is that you're in debt and you're broke. But the solution is that you need to make more money. The thing that you focus on the most is the thing that will expand. So if you spend all your time saying, I'm broke, thinking about how much of a failure you are, then that's going to manifest and you're going to, more debt, more brokenness is going to come into your life. Whereas if you focus on the solution, which is actually making more money, then that's what's going to happen. So how do you get more money? Well, the first thing I'll say, the best thing to do is to become very valuable in your job. And if you're not working and if you're not in a job, just go get a job. Even if the job's not what you want to do long term, it's not your dream job, go get a job. Once you've got a job, become valuable, find ways to become as valuable as possible as you can to your workplace. And then when you become more valuable, don't be afraid to ask for a pay rise. Number 6 is manage your money. Manage the little money that you have. You might be broke, but you've still got some money. The Bible says that when you're faithful with a little, then you'll be given a lot. Some people that say, I need more money, I need more money, I need more money. They don't need more money. They couldn't even handle more money. Lottery winners tend to go broke again. So maybe your problem is not just that you need more money. Maybe you need to manage the little money that you've got. Well, I haven't got any money. How can I manage it? Well, when you get paid, whatever money you get paid, maybe the first of the month or whenever it is, don't spend it all at once. Allocate it properly. Put a percentage aside for bills, a percentage aside for paying off your debts, a percentage aside, and split it up. Manage what you've got, because honestly, everybody that's broke, they're the most broke just before they get paid on payday. And the reason that is because they have mismanaged their money throughout the month. So manage your money, get to grips with your finances, and when you're faithful with the little that you have, I promise more is going to come into your life. Number 7, that's 8, 7. Share your burdens with other people. Speak to people about your situation. Now, what I don't mean by this is I don't mean become a bitching, whining, moaning, broke person that asks everybody for money, that becomes a thorn in everybody else's side. Not at all. But what I do mean is sometimes when you just share a problem, it's a problem halved. And the worst thing ever is being broke, but also being misunderstood and feeling alone and isolated. So speak to people that you trust, and not in a negative way, not in a moaning, whining way, but just in a, how do you think I can get better at this? Can you give me some advice? You know, be coachable, speak about this freely and openly. Don't be ashamed, because I tell you something, you're not on your own. And pretty much every single millionaire and even billionaire that there is today has been really, really broke at some point. It's not your destination. It's not your identity. It's just your circumstances right now. And there's nothing wrong with talking about that. And lastly, and possibly most importantly, number 8 is educate yourself and put a plan in place. Now, at school, they don't teach anything about money and finances. So it's no wonder that there's so many millions and millions of people in the UK and across the world that have no money. But what I'll say is start educating yourself about money, because you will never become financially free if you continue doing the same things that you're doing now. The things that you've been doing have got you to this point where you are now. So now you want to start doing different things. But you can only do different things if you learn different ways of life, and if you learn around money, property investments, management. You need to learn these skills. When I was 17 years old, I remember being so broke, but still, I was going into my overdraft. I couldn't pay for petrol, and I was going into my overdraft to learn about property, to learn about investments. Why would I do that when I was so broke? Well, my other friends, they were going to university. They were spending £9,000 a year going to university to get student debt. So why wouldn't I invest everything I've possibly got and more to invest in myself? You are your best investment. Now, am I saying that you should take out thousands and thousands of pounds in more loans and more debts to become educated? Well, absolutely not. Not necessarily. Maybe that'll be the right thing to do. But what I am saying is start spending your time and your resources getting free information. Now, I run a 2-day property investors crash course. I would suggest, even if you're broke and you have no money to invest, I would say come along. We do more advanced training programs that are pretty big, hefty investments. Should you do that? I don't know, maybe not. But start educating yourself in the best way that you can. Reading books, attending seminars, speaking to the right kind of people, getting rid of your friends who are naysayers and who don't want the best for you, and hanging around people that want you to be the best you can be, that are making good money and that will support you in your journey. So that's kind of the gist of the 8 things that I would suggest that you do. I hope you enjoyed that. Listen, I make these videos. The reason I made this video is because I really genuinely want to see people do well in life. I want to see people financially free. I want to see people succeed. Someone sent me a message today just saying, my situation's really bad, I've got no money, I'm absolutely broke, and I thought, man, how can I help her? So I sat down and I wrote a little plan, I sent it to her over Messenger, and then I just thought, well, as I've spent the time doing it anyway, why not make a video and share the same 8 points with you guys for anyone else who's struggling? So I hope you found the video beneficial. Please do smash the like button if you enjoyed this content. Also, if you're not a subscriber of the channel, subscribe down below, turn on the notification bell. If you want to see a video where I started all over again from scratch with absolutely no money and became financially free in 1 week, you can do the same too. Maybe not straight away, maybe you need to learn first. But if you want inspiration and you want to watch me do that, you can check out that video right here. If you want to come to the Property Investors Crash Course and learn the skills, then you can get a free ticket right here. So you can get your free ticket to the Property Investors Crash Course. And of course, please don't forget to subscribe, which you can do over here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you real soon. Your future is bright.